So a few things we want to cover. We want to talk about Grealish to Everton, which is a huge coup in my opinion for Everton. I think that he's going to do really well there, and then mostly because he's going to be like the sole source of creativity for the team. So he'll get to kind of dance around and do his thing, just like he did at Aston Villa and some at City. Although City, he had other duties from Pep that I think is what ultimately led to his demise. That and the partying, the insane amount of partying he did after they won the treble, was crazy. And he just never seemed to fully recover from that. So that I want to talk about preseason games, talk about some of the results as well as their value for knowing what to expect in the season.
Right.
And then we'll just see where the conversation goes from there. There's probably some other things that I'm forgetting, but Tom will remind us all.
No, I won't. All right.
So I want to start with the preseason thing.
Okay, let's do that.
So Chelsea played Milan.
Yes.
And Arsenal played Milan.
Yep. And Liverpool.
And Liverpool played Milan. What were the results of the Arsenal-Liverpool game again?
Arsenal 1-0.
Okay.
I think. And then Liverpool 4-2. They lost.
Okay. So here's the thing. Personally, I don't think preseason games matter a lot. Okay?
Okay.
I think that it's good, especially for new players that they're trying to blood. It's good to like get them in the squad, get them comfortable, and also if they get a few goals, it can kind of boost their confidence. Okay. So I do think there's some value there, but it's rarely, in my opinion, from my experience, it is rarely something that factors in the actual season. And then also some teams have slow starts, right? Some teams start slow and they don't pick up momentum till like November. Right. So I don't think it matters a lot. Of course, pundits love to talk about those results and analyze. Oh, let's see what we had here.
Right.
I will say this: AC Milan is a very good team, and when I was looking at the lineups, like the Chelsea AC Milan lineup, both teams put out very solid lineups. Like they came to play. Of course, they do a lot of subs. They sub out 8 people or whatever, however many it is. But they definitely came to have a somewhat competitive match.
Right. So here's what I've noticed in these preseason games. Typically, they're trying out a lot of new things. Okay, the managers are putting in new players that they wouldn't normally play, youth players. They're trying out different tactics. The closer it gets to the season starting, the more the manager plays his squad that he's planning on starting every game that season.
Yeah.
But even then, there's going to be way more changes than normal. He's going to still do some crazy things. So I was online on social media, and people were complaining about the substitutes that the managers were making. They're like, Slot has made a really bad substitution here. Well, it's a preseason game. He's trying new things, right? He's doing things that he's trying players out that he is probably not going to try out in the season unless it's like an absolute emergency.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't really count on the results. Having said that, it is interesting the score results of these games. Considering that I think these are the top 3 teams to compete this season, and they all played AC Milan. And they all had very different results.
Yeah.
And to that point, Arsenal didn't get scored on. I think that's a big note.
Yep.
We didn't score a lot, but we didn't get scored on.
Yes.
Chelsea crushed AC Milan, but you guys also conceded. And I think that is kind of
one goal.
A note that only one goal, but that is a note to take into the season. Our defense is a little better than yours. Your offense might be a little better than ours.
I think with Cole Palmer in form, we're neck and neck with all the top teams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were the last 2 seasons with in-form Cole Palmer, we were competitive. Yeah. And, the season prior to this last one, of course, like, Cole Palmer just carried us on his back. right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The rest of the team was, inept.
Yeah, he
And
was
then-
amazing.
Yeah, and then this last season he didn't have as good of a season as the prior season, but his stats were very good, very strong.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yes.
And then obviously the Club World Cup he really showed his quality.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what he puts us on that you guys could win the league level.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy Cole Palmer, and then crossing our fingers that because injuries happen, crossing our fingers that the other creative talents show more than just their pace and ability to whip in across, but show a little bit more.
Right.
That's the thing is like you bring in these speedy strikers and wingers,
Mm-hmm.
and they look great, but they also playing with Cole Palmer. So,
Yeah.
you just make basic runs, the ball gets to you.
Right.
There's a lot of that going on. And one of the with every team, but especially with Chelsea, when we've won the league, it's always been like under Carlo Ancelotti, you had Drogba, Anelka, Maluda, Lampard, Ballack, Essien. Essien was injured that season, but John Obi Mikel. But you had a lot of sources. The point is you had a lot of sources of creativity.
Yeah.
People think of Nicolas Anelka as a pacey striker, but he was hyper creative. Same with Florent Maluda. Then you also had out of left back Ashley Cole, who's like, he could play striker, he could play center attacking midfield, he could play any.
I thought Anelka played attacking mid quite a bit.
He did. He not quite a bit, but he would sometimes play as a center attacking midfielder with like Maluda and Drogba in front of him. Yeah, but the point is that Anelka could actually brought in a ton of flair.
Right.
And Drogba, of course, has a ton of Drogba actually does not have crazy goal scoring statistics season in, season out.
Yeah.
A lot of his seasons he was doing between 10 and 15 goals. And then, of course, he had that iconic season under Carlo Ancelotti, he scored 29. But what he brought to the table was a lot of off the ball work and a lot of creativity and muscle. So he just created space for other players to do their thing, and he was great. Hold up play, great at assisting, brilliant, just really, really, really good at all the things you should be good at. Mm-hmm. And then, on his day, an imperious striker. Right. So that's what, for Chelsea, in our DNA, it's always kind of been that, with maybe the exception of like the seasons we won with Hazard, although I'm trying to think, we had some other creative talents in there too. Mm-hmm. I think so.
Can we go back to current? Let's
go back to the AC Milan results with all.
Yeah. Because so one thing I wanted to make note of: Arsenal, I don't think had Gyökeres in that game against.
Oh, really?
AC Milan. He might have shown up for like 2 minutes. But when you were bringing up Didier Drogba and his ability to hold up play and have a creative effect on offense, that made me think of Gyökeres, who has been, when he did play a full game against Athletic Bilbao, I think it was, what an effect he had on the field. He scored. He had a header off the bar, 2 headers.
Wow.
One went in, one went off the post.
Wow.
And I think he had an assist. I mean, he dominated. He was very good. So, Arsenal's offense, I think we haven't seen the full effect yet this preseason. I think the world is in for a little bit of a surprise when Arsenal get into the season and start using all their offensive options.
Yeah. I think the team that will have the biggest adjustment is going to be Liverpool with Florian Wirtz. It's not like I have no proof that Florian Wirtz is a bad player, and that's not what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But they are decidedly changing the attacking DNA of the team by putting him in the team.
In a big way.
In a big way. And they have a big burden on defensive duties because Mo Salah needs to save his juice for running at defenders, not tracking back. Because he's got bags of pace just like he always has,
Right.
but he does not have. He will get injured if he's required to track back and play defense all the time.
Right.
So they've got to and that just increases season by season, you know.
Right.
And obviously he was incredible last season. It's not like a knock against him. We saw Ronaldo. Well, actually, Ronaldo never has really tracked back ever in his career, but I guess you see it with Portugal. They compensate for Ronaldo's lack of defensive movement,
Yes.
but
Teams can make it work.
you can make it work. It's just people got to be really committed. But so they've got that. That's more than what they had before. And I think they are going to benefit. Here's the thing: it's just true. They're going to benefit from not having Trent Alexander-Arnold there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the truth is that
Yep.
they're going to put. I can't remember the name of the guy that they're putting in his place, but he is more defensive minded, and they're going to. So that will be good. But Florian Wirtz playing in the hole is going to be interesting because they haven't. I know they've had people that are kind of in that attacking realm,
Is it Bradley?
but man, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I hate Liverpool so much that I try not to pay any attention to them at all, other than to
Connor
criticize them.
Bradley, I think, is their.
He's their guy.
I think he's going to be the guy, but he's a young right back, and it looks like they're trying to possibly bring in. Oh, they brought in Jeremy Frimpong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So they'll be good in right back. That is smart too to button down right back so that Mo Salah can stay forward.
Yeah.
Because before you had him and Trent going forward.
Yeah.
And then they were tremendously weak on the right side defensively.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and they lost titles to City because of it.
yeah.
So yeah, they need. That's an unpopular opinion, but it's just true. He was a big weak spot for them. Of
Trent.
course, yeah, Trent. Just a bit. He was a
Yeah.
massive liability on
yeah.
defense. It's
Yeah.
just true.
Yep.
You could attackers, a reasonably skilled attacker could dice him up so easily. He's just
Yeah.
like not in his his
Yeah.
brain wasn't in it. So I think I don't want to put too much weight on those preseason results, but it's very promising for Chelsea.
It is.
It's kind of what you'd expect with Arsenal, and it's mildly concerning for Liverpool. Because Liverpool should, based off of last season, roll over AC Milan.
Yeah, they lost, and they lost by a lot.
Yeah.
They conceded 4 goals against AC Milan.
Yeah.
A team that Arsenal and Chelsea beat.
Yeah. And Chelsea beat handily. And we
Yeah.
barely finished top 4 last season.
Yeah.
So,
Combined, Arsenal and Chelsea conceded 1 goal combined.
yeah. So,
That's pretty bad for Liverpool.
I hate those combined statistics because it's just like,
I know.
it's ridiculous.
I
And people
know.
always, say, like in all the articles, they use that, like, combined. Ugh. And I'm like, okay, people, don't get too.
It's for dramatic effect.
Yeah. It's just, the pundits are always stirring the pot. Like, dude, you want to talk about a pundit that stirs the pot? Well, they don't and they do. But they'll use those statistics to like make a ridiculous point about some like hobby team that they love, like some personal thing that like Gab Marcotti over at ESPN FC.
Yeah.
He'll whip out the most obscure stats
Yeah.
to like make some point about some team that he thinks this is why. But then what's also funny is they'll also pretty much always go, unless it's their team, they pretty much always go with whichever team won the previous season, like that's the team they predict to win this season. They're just always that way.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
And I like to mix it up. Like if
Yeah.
I like to be like, I don't think. In fact, I think Liverpool are going to squeeze into the top 4, but I think they're going to have a lot of struggles. I think people don't realize they're not as deep as people think. They're not as deep as people think. They
Yeah.
have certain positions. Like if Virgil van Dijk is injured, like if they have 1 or 2 injured center backs, they are up a creek
Yeah.
without a paddle.
Well,
Like
yeah, that would be a nightmare for them.
it'd be really bad.
Also, it's pretty common. For
And
the
Van
team-
Dijk, by the way, is another guy who's aging out.
Oh yeah, he's
He's
coming to the end of
he's
that
lost
career.
a step.
Yeah.
He's not quite what he used to be.
Yeah.
He's great. I mean, he's still great. They won the league last season, but
I would say I think
he's not as
he
quick
has-
as he used to be. That's what I
he's
guess.
kind
That's
of
what I'm saying.
better than Salah.
He's more effective for the team. You think?
I think so. If you're talking about like the aging players,
Mm.
I think he's holding up better. I think that tends to be the case for a defender, for a center back. of
Yeah, I
this
mean,
type. Like it's easier to.
One of John Terry's best seasons he had in his entire career, he was like 35 or 36 at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You can
and-
be a slow center back.
yeah,
It's hard to be a slow winger.
yes, yeah, it's hard, especially when you've based your entire career off of being able to beat the defender
Yeah.
in just a dead sprint.
Yeah.
Like if worse comes to worse, I just kick the ball
And
down, kick and
run
chase,
past 'em.
and run past them.
Yeah.
So, of course,
But-
most Salah, there's a lot more to his game than kicking and chasing.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, with a center back, you can time your runs. You can there's so much about organizing the defense that's super important. There's all these different leadership aspects that lead to a solid defense.
Should we pause for
So-
a minute? Should we just-
No, it's fine. We just roll, dude. We roll, baby, roll.
All right.
So,
The deal is though with Liverpool, okay, they have bad squad depth. That's going to catch up to them. Do you think that Man City will finish above Liverpool? I kind of think so. I think Man City have been rebuilding quite a bit. Like last January, I think it was, they spent like 200 million.
they spent a lot.
At least, and then they spent more in the summer before that. And this summer they're spending, I think, another 200 million. They're going crazy.
Yeah.
So, but those players that they bought in January have fit into the team by now. Like they're ready for a full season. They're ready for the first hit of the season.
The question for Man City is, are you going to have, at least statistically, but hopefully embodied in one player, a one-for-one replacement for Kevin De Bruyne? That is,
It's not happening.
if you don't have that, I don't think they're going to win the league. But I do think they're going to be, because they always spend, and Pep is a great coach. He's a great coach. He knows the type of players he needs. He gets them. He slots them in. They understand the assignment, and they're very effective. And then they have the X factor of Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland can just pull goals out of nowhere. So it's like between Erling Haaland and then Pep's tactical genius, they're going to be super competitive, I think.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool are going to disappoint. Obviously, I've been very clear about that.
Yeah.
And then I think it's going to come down to Chelsea and Arsenal. I think it's going to be it's going to be a London derby for the title, dude.
I have felt that way, but I'll be honest. The more I think about it, I think Man City, weirdly enough, because everybody expects Man City to win, but in my mind, Man City are the dark horse. In my mind, Man City are the ones who could be a surprise.
Well, that's probably because you're my brother and I talk all the time about Chelsea. Chelsea are the dark horse.
I know. They are the dark horse that people aren't talking about, but
Well, people are talking about it, but people are not considering
Yeah,
them
yeah,
to
but
be
it's subject.
to challenge for the title. People are like they're gonna be top four. Don't worry, but they're not gonna challenge for the title. And I'm like, this is a really deep, really good squad. I think
Chelsea are going to challenge, but I don't think they're as deep as you. They're not as deep as Arsenal and Man City, and that's what will get in their way.
I think they're deeper than Arsenal.
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They're like
We already
3,
have
4
the-
deep in every single position with
We're-
competent players.
Okay, I forgot about this. Chelsea.
We bought everybody,
You
dude.
guys have bought I think you guys had 40. What was it? You had enough to put out 4 full teams last season.
Yeah, man.
44 players, I think.
Yeah, there was
Or
like
42.
20 guys that I thought we had sold 5 years ago. They're still we just got rid, just put out to pasture.
Felix. You guys got rid of How Felix. I think?
Yeah, we just sold him
It
to
was I forgot.
Saudi.
He's a huge player.
Yeah,
He's a big name.
and I can't remember if I've said this before, but I am fairly certain, having observed Chelsea's transfer business over the course of my life, that they buy a lot of players so other teams can't buy them. I'm fairly certain they do that. And they're fine with putting guys out to pasture to the Saudi League just so they're not a competitive element. João Felix has got plenty of gas left in the tank to play at the highest level.
Yeah.
He's always been kind of flirting with being really good and never kind of got to that highest point. And I think that comes down to probably some poor management on his side with his team and his people not being able to choose the right team for him to fit into. Like, he probably would have done really well in the Italian league or something.
Yeah.
Or he'd do well in the Premier League under the right coach. But he just that never happened, and then he's just languishing over at Atletico Madrid because Atletico Madrid, they paid a lot of money for him, by the way, when they got him. They just play a lot of defense, and João Felix is not here to play defense, and so it was just a problem. And then he's an auxiliary guy, like he can fit in anywhere, you know. But what he brings to the table is he's got a pretty good shot, and he's an excellent dribbler and a decent passer.
Yeah,
really good dribbler though.
Really surprised that Chelsea didn't use him more. I don't know why.
He had some cool clutch goals. I remember he scored this Champions League goal against Dortmund that was awesome. That we were, but it was a bad time. He came in at a really bad time with bad coaches. It was like Graham Potter was coaching, which, by the way, I knew was a bad idea and he was going to be a disaster.
Was he Brighton?
Yeah.
Brighton? Okay, yeah. You guys took everybody from Brighton.
Yeah, we've taken everybody from Brighton. But the
coaches and players.
The thing with these coaches, like Brighton, the organization has a system that they're running that works really well. And if the coach fits into the system, the coach can do pretty well. And a lot of times exceed expectations, exceed the media and the general public's expectations for how well they're going to do. Yeah. But a big part of what's going on is that the system, everything with the club is really good. Their recruitment, everything. They set these coaches up to succeed. It doesn't necessarily mean the coach is a genius. And we've seen there's a few different Premier League teams where like their coach goes, leaves the team and elevates to a top 6 team or whatever, and then just immediately falls flat on their face. Yeah. And obviously the biggest one that comes to mind is David Moyes.
Yeah.
But
I think he could have made it work.
He could have made it work if he had spent money.
Yeah,
he should have just went out and bought
Fellaini with him. That might not have been the best move.
He should have just bought the players that they were willing to let him buy.
Yeah.
And he should have gotten moving on it right away. And he should have not been like, I'm going to save the club money. I know what I'm doing. It's like, nah, dude, you don't understand. You're playing in the Champions League. You're playing every competition. The expectation is you compete in every competition. You need to bolster your squad every single season. Season in, season out. And actually, if you look at Chelsea, with how we've maneuvered things financially, we're actually doing quite well on the books. The books actually make sense.
That is the thing
as weird
about
as
Chelsea
as odd as it would seem.
People have been hypercritical of Chelsea for this. Oh, they spend too much. They're blowing money. They're not making money. That's simply not true. It's kind of disappointing for me as an Arsenal fan to admit this, but Chelsea do probably the best business of any team on earth. The number of players you guys have been able to bring in, and then still, even if they have bad seasons, you sell them for tons of money.
Tons of money.
And just keep the train rolling. And the results aren't there. It's not an attractive club, in my mind, for a player.
Yeah.
Because you might have a new manager next year.
Yeah.
Everything might change.
It'll be a miracle if you have a manager for more than 2 seasons.
Yeah,
at Chelsea.
Very uncommon. Wasn't there one season a couple years ago? You guys had 3 managers.
Oh, it was like 4 managers. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
The thing is that there's a lot of upheaval on the managerial side, but the business side is run quite well, and it was done well under Roman, and arguably is improving now because Roman fostered a really strong youth system, and now we're reaping the benefits now. So we're bringing these kids up. They cost us no money, and then we're selling them for $50 million.
Yeah.
$60 million, $30 million. It doesn't matter. Any money is great money. And so it's balancing the books. That's why we don't get investigated like Man City, who it's like their owners are like, we'll just blank checks everywhere. And they're kind of playing fast and loose. Luckily, they can buy their way out of, actually suffering any consequences. But they're getting investigated. It is stressful. It's not ideal. Chelsea is a little bit more litigious about how they go about things, and they make the deals make sense, and they make sure that they sell a lot of players for good prices, and they can justify the financing. And it helps to win trophies, obviously. So it was it's like $120, $150 million purse for the Club World Cup. It's an enormous amount of money.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah. And then we sold off the women's team.
That was hilarious.
For like £200 million or something.
Yeah, to yourselves, basically, right? The owners sold it to themselves.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't look far enough into it, but it just helps balance all the books and everything.
I think another team did that recently. Didn't Everton do it, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's becoming like a thing to do.
Yeah.
Let the women's team be kind of like have the same branding but a separate entity.
Yeah.
Because there's investors out there that have a big vision for women's sports and all that. They think they can turn it into tennis, whatever. Fine, eat your heart out. But
it's a smart business move.
Yeah, it's a smart business move. So Chelsea look really good, but the entire squad is extremely inexperienced except for basically Caicedo and Enzo and Palmer. The other people have all, like, of course, we just won this Club World Cup, but those other guys have been in the Premier League for a hot second. They've, Enzo won the World Cup. They've played in big competitions. They're feeling out the squad. They're kind of becoming leaders. And then there's these, there's Delap and Pedro and all these other people. Even Neto. It's like came from Wolves. He knows his way around the Premier League, but he's going to be playing in the Champions League next season.
Yeah, he's new to the team.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting how Maresca is going to navigate that. And he could very well get fired early.
It's most likely, but also so far he's done a great job.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
This is always the way it is with Chelsea, though. It's like, they finally found their coach. They finally found the guy who's going to get it all done and be consistent. And then he has like a slightly bad period of time in
a little lull.
Some competition, a lull in form, and he's out.
He's gone, baby. He's gone. Hit the bricks, pal.
Doesn't matter how good the coach is, he's gone.
He's gone. Hit the bricks. Yeah.
So.
I think Maresca is, he knows the pressure's on. And he really set himself up by winning that Club World Cup. Expectations are a little higher. And then the money that was spent and the players that were brought in.
They're higher, but it also buys him some time.
Yeah.
Like, if he has a bad start to the season, hey, he just won the Club World Cup. Let's see if he can pull it together before, November or something.
Now, here's an interesting thing with Maresca. That this is a situation you don't have to deal with as much with the other teams because they have their identity. Mm-hmm. I think that with Liverpool, I think their Slot's plan is to play the way they've been playing, but have Wirtz be in this attacking role, and he thinks they're going to pull off what they've been doing before, but switching the formation a little up to fit Florian Wirtz's style and everything. And maybe not. Maybe they're just going to stick him out wide, or just have like a slightly elevated center midfield. I don't know.
When they realize it's not working.
Yeah. So I don't know what exactly. So I'm just going to go with these other teams have defined styles that they've been consistently playing in for years, and they're going to continue to do. Chelsea do not. Maresca, in his mind, thinks he does, but he doesn't. The team he thinks he's going to play like attacking possession-based soccer. We score most of our goals on the counter.
Yeah.
Like it's counter and set pieces. Mm-hmm. We're a fast team. Mm-hmm. We get you on the break. That's how we win. You look at all the Club World Cup goals, everything. It's all fast break stuff. Mm-hmm. It's going to stay that way. Delap and Pedro Neto, basically everybody in the attacking is like an explosive type player that likes to shoot. So I think especially like Delap and Yao Pedro love to just do lung busting runs on counterattacks and then just hit the ball. They just want to score. And so I think Maresca, if I'm not too bold to say, needs to adjust his frame of mind tactically and think more along the lines of we are a counterattacking team. He doesn't set the formation up that way. It's open for counterattacks, obviously, but he in his mind he wants us to like kind of possess and create lots of chances. And couldn't disagree more. I don't think if he doesn't get, and it might be one of those things where he just does it against the big teams,
Right.
which is that is a winning tactic. Is like you play more possession based against the smaller teams, and then like top 6 teams, it's more 50-50, and there's a lot more counterattacking, and the defense is a little more solid.
Right.
I say just do that with every team. Who cares? Let's not lose to, Ipswich because you wanted to play open and dominate possession, and it turns out that they're just going to park like everybody behind the ball in the 18-yard line. Like, let's draw these teams out by allowing them space to attack and then get them on the counter.
Didn't Chelsea play possession versus PSG?
No. PSG had PSG had like, I think it was 70-30.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 70-30.
A big difference. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We had good attacks. The thing is, we did have flowing, nice attacks, so it didn't seem that way, but PSG had significantly more possession than we did.
Okay. I think maybe it was at the start of the game for a short period you guys controlled the ball. But
You can look it up, but
yeah. Anyways, I do think you're right about that. I think a big surprise this season is going to be Arsenal playing less possession. I do think there's going to be a lot more turnover for Arsenal.
Why is that?
Back and forth. Zubamendi is more of an offensive, defensive midfielder. He's not as good at, playing defense.
Okay.
So we will try to hold the ball forward with him, but when the ball gets turned over, it's going into our half. I think it's going to be a big turnover. And then I think Gyökeres and Kai Havertz are both working in preseason. The way they've been playing has been more so preparatory for counterattacks. So I think they're really good counterattacking players. They're good with the ball coming over their head and sprinting at goal.
Yeah.
Versus being in the box and waiting for the ball to come.
Okay, so here's the thing with Havertz, is that when he was at, when he was in Germany, when he was playing at Leverkusen, if you looked up his highlights, it's a lot of counterattacking goals.
Yeah.
The only goal he scored for Chelsea, basically, in the Champions League final, was a counterattacking goal. I mean, he scored other goals for us, but I'm just saying that was like the only one that anybody remembers. He's actually attacking. He's a counterattacking player.
Yeah.
And
he's very direct. He's a very direct player.
Yeah. Gyökeres, I think, will fit into anything. I think he's like a poacher. But he's fast and strong.
His hold-up play.
Yeah.
He can.
I think Gyökeres and Liam Delap are very, very similar.
Maybe we'll see.
We'll see. I haven't seen enough of Gyökeres to see what his dribbling is like. Delap is surprisingly shifty. Okay. Surprisingly, but I think
Gyökeres had some good jukes against I think it was Bilbao. He sent some guys flying.
Yeah. Part of it, I can never tell sometimes with that, though, again, because like sometimes guys are just fast, and they're not actually as good at dribbling as you think. They're just running at a defender quickly, and they're like, oh. Yeah. Yeah. They're not necessarily like Bruno Fernandes, or not Bernardo Silva, who can just dance through people, Mm-hmm. Or like Thierry Henry in his heyday, he could dance through people at pace.
So you're right about the possession, by the way. Chelsea versus
30-70?
33.5, 66.5.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was Chelsea against the better teams will probably do that again. And then, but we looked good and we looked attacking, and it didn't seem like we gave up that much possession because it was, Caicedo keeps people at bay. That's the other thing. You can have possession, but if you're kind of bouncing it around, the center circle and stuff like that, and trying to cut it, and like not really, because Caicedo is like, he's great at intercepting and he puts tons of pressure on people. He's really he's great. I think people now give him a lot of credit, but I think that he is a slightly more balanced version of this will be N'Golo Kante.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
He's a little more balanced. He's not nowhere near as
That's
fast.
cool.
He's not, but he's far more aggressive than people realize, and he gets all over the pitch.
You know who had? Well, okay, this is another one of those weird statistics, but Thomas Partey had. The statistic was the most like steals or tackles or gaining back possession, interceptions, the most per their team. Thomas Partey had the highest number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, above the average in the Premier League. And I think, I don't know. I mean, I think that's not a huge statistic, though, because we're a possession team. So it's a little deceptive. And he's gone. He's gone to Villarreal. Benjamin Sesko went to Manchester United.
Yeah.
It's a huge career mistake.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Amarin's a waste of time. They should fire him immediately. They should not go the young coach route. It's not worked for them. It doesn't generally work for a lot of people. So they should go for a super experienced top four type coach. Like type of coach that whatever league he's in, he's competing for in the top four always. And you should avoid the Bundesliga. They should pull a coach out of Italy, I think, who's very good and has like Allegri. Like that would be a great. Well, of course, he's at AC Milan, but I think so. Yeah, he's at AC Milan now, and Conte's at Napoli. But that ilk of coach, who's going to come in and be like, everybody shut up, we're doing what I say, type of guy who goes to the board and says, these are the players I need, do whatever it takes to get them.
I.e., they should have kept Mourinho.
Well, yeah, that was the dumbest thing. That was the sign of the end.
Yeah.
Of course, all the stupid Man U fans had no idea, like, dude, Mourinho's toxic. It's like, he's not toxic, dude. He's just very, very determined to win at all costs, and it's a lot of pressure, and there's people get mad and there's fights and stuff, but he'll get the team to win. That's what he's done everywhere.
Yeah.
Or nearly everywhere.
Do you want to talk about a couple more transfers, or
do you have some more that you're wanting to talk about?
Liverpool are still trying to get Isaac from Newcastle.
They'll get him.
You think so?
Yep, they'll get him, and that will be scary. That'll be a big problem.
So here's the thing: Newcastle there's zero reason for them to sell Isaac right now. It is in their best interest to keep him.
£100 million seems like a lot of reasons.
They don't want the money though; they want a higher position on the table. And Isaac guarantees that they get Champions League, which is £100 million.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's worth it for them to keep him, and they're a team that wants to be.
But the thing is, if he wants to go, you can't keep a player that doesn't want to play on your team.
People have done it before. It has happened.
It has happened, and it's worked out because they have a heart-to-heart, and they're like, yeah, well, I do kind of love the club, and you guys are cool, and I guess I'll come back, and I'm going to play as hard as I can. And then it works out. That doesn't always happen, though. And if he's, like, really not feeling it there, he's gone. The The other thing that people forget is these higher end teams have better medical staff, and they're better at preserving you.
That is
They have
true.
deeper squads.
That is true.
Your
Which
team doesn't
might-
rely.
yeah.
It's like there's a self-preservational element to it
Yeah.
that people discount, and it's like if I go to like a Chelsea or if I go to a Man City or if I go to a Liverpool or an Arsenal,
My career is.
there's people that can
Extended.
there's people that can come in for me if I need to just let the muscles rest or if I got a little ache here or there. Like whereas when you are at Newcastle and you're in his shoes,
We need you to play this
we
week.
need you to play, buddy. We need you out there, buddy. And it's
Yeah.
just and
Yeah.
he's 26, which isn't old by any stretch of the imagination, but if you've been just playing a lot and he's started to have some injuries and
Oh, yeah,
stuff,
he's
so
had injuries. Yeah.
I think he's going to force a move to Liverpool, and
That would be a game changer
That'll
for
be-
everybody else.
that'll be tough because I think that he'll get the service he wants. He won't have to work as hard,
Take
and
a lot of pressure off Salah, give him a lot more time.
Yeah.
To, get
it'll just give them like automatic goals out of those positions. So that's not great for all of us.
No, it's not.
That would be really bad.
All right, and then Arsenal are trying to get Eze from Crystal Palace.
That's a great
Which-
buy.
Yeah. Now, I think today, Tottenham are trying to get him as well. It says
Okay.
that's the rumor, which is funny. It's like, why would he go to Tottenham? He's not going to want to go to Tottenham. But the problem is that Arsenal can't buy him until they sell players. Arsenal have already spent. Our budget has been spent. So we have to offload some players, which we have players to offload, but Arsenal are tremendously bad at selling. We're tremendously bad at business.
You guys
So-
you don't desperately need Eze,
Unless we want to win the league.
but it would be if you really want to win the league, it would be really smart to get Eze.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would
Well, especially
behoove
with a
you
team like Liverpool
to do that.
getting Isaac,
yeah.
That would be a big
Yeah.
problem for everybody.
Yeah, it'd be a big problem. You would need him. I think bringing in Eze would be huge, and for you guys, I think you could potentially do it without him. Just having Gyökeres there, he looks good. He looks sharp.
Yeah, he was
He's
a
scored
game changer.
a zillion goals in the Portuguese league.
Yeah.
He's going to probably at least do 15 in the Premier League this season if he stays injury free, I think. He's going to be really effective. I knew immediately when you guys were like picking up Havertz thinking he would maybe turn it. I was like, this is not going to happen.
He looks like, he was young when we bought him. He's still young. He's still like 25 or 26.
Yeah, he's young.
So and then with all that, he worked out a bunch apparently. He had an injury, came back from it. He's like gained a lot of weight. He's a much bigger, stronger player.
Got more muscle on
He's
him.
faster. He scored a goal in preseason where he ran the length of the pitch with the ball and like shrugged off multiple defenders and put the ball in the net.
Yeah.
So he could still work out for us. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't
this
think
season's gonna be big for him.
I don't think it's going to be big for him. I think he's going to be bang on average like he's always been.
All right.
So
Let's wrap this up. Crystal Palace beat Liverpool for the Community Shield.
that's glorious. What was the score line?
It was a tie, 2-2, and then they won on penalties.
Okay.
So
That's great. Yeah, Liverpool.
they're going to struggle.
That's interesting. Now the Community Shield is a pretty competitive game. So
Oh yeah, that's a big. There's money in it.
so that's great to see that they lost to Crystal Palace. Hopefully that speaks of things to come.
Also, Crystal Palace won it a lot more than Liverpool.
Yeah.
They clearly they did, but it's a smaller club. That money means a lot more to them. It means a lot. more to
Liverpool
the
have
players.
things to contend with here. Now again, I think if they get Alexander Isak, and he's somewhat healthy, he could be healthy for half the season. It's a big problem. But if they don't pick him up and they have all the upheaval of Diego Jota passing away, trying to make sure Florian Wirtz fits in a way where he can flourish without changing the DNA of how they attack and everything they've been doing, they can win the league again. So, but with I think they've got those things those are problems they have to work out. Just having a guy that everybody loved on the team die is crazy, and then so there's emotional baggage, so to speak. I think that will affect them more than people realize. And then I think the Florian Wirtz thing is a problem, and nobody thinks it is. They just think he was great at the Bundesliga, and he's gonna. And it's like he is a really good player. He's gonna have to adjust to the league, and Liverpool's gonna have to adjust to how they're gonna play with him because they're gonna start him because they paid a ton of money for him. So, but I think all of those issues will be offset with Alexander Isak.